Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome in. I'm happy to report, gamers, that we are on Fiber. Twitch is showing that the bitrate is red. I don't know why. I think my bitrate might be too high. I have this happen sometimes. I mean, I have it set to 6,000, which is Twitch's maximum, but I think sometimes it goes over that. Thank you for the cheese time. So I guess I'm gonna lower it a little bit. Maybe we go to like 5,800. Maybe that'll fix my issues. Yeah, that might be better. We'll see. Yeah, Twitch gets angry with the bitrate. I don't know. 6,000 seems like a really low limit for 1080p 60 FPS, but oh well. It still might be a little too high. I guess I'll just go back to 5,500 as I had it. Oh well. Okay, but the thing that should work way better now with Fiber, with Gigabit, is I should be able to upload Starground builds while we're streaming now. At least I hope. So we're going to test that out today and actually get a real build up, hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, we're going to be working more on the boss today, on Calorus. We're getting there with him. We got like the head. We're gonna go through and model in his body segments and then start in his room and attacks and stuff. So yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into that. So one thing I want to do before we jump into that is the boss music stuff, because, well, it's stupid how it is right now. I mean, it's kind of okay, but there's a lot that I want to change in here. I think what I need to do is just make it so it's not checking for classes and stuff, because that's dumb. So what I'm going to do instead is, inside of the entities table, we're going to give certain entities, like bosses, a music override. Right? So Calorus doesn't have his own music yet, which is unfortunate, but we'll get around to that eventually, hopefully. And this one will be music Spore boss. So that means we don't really have to look for the class and then set the music differently. So now we're just gonna do this. We're gonna say set music override. First off, I'm gonna grab let's see, global dot entities table dot get.
I saw a new person reacted in Discord, Archivist, so I went to see more about them. Apparently they make SG videos.
Ah, they make Starground videos? Let's go. I didn't notice. Archivist. I can go look at what they're all about. Videos. That's like a real archivist. Let me open Discord. Give me 1 second here. Why is my F4 keybind not working? Huh. Well, that's odd. I don't know why that wouldn't be working. I can do it there. Here, let me look at this. Let's go into settings, hotkeys. Filter by hotkey F4. Ugh. There should be one for privacy screen. I don't know. I guess my keybind got reset. which is odd. I did update OBS, so maybe that's what happened here. Okay, there we go. Anyways. Okay. Weird. See anyone called Archivist? I don't know. Oh, there it is. I don't know why I can't search for it. Actually, it's probably someone that changed their name. I have to go to members. I'm just curious to see now. Is that like a little Starground icon? I think it is. Let's go. Big Boys Driver. Yeah. Crazy. I wonder who that could be. It might be someone that I already know, but I have no idea. But that's cool. Our first Starground streamer. Pretty awesome. So what I'm gonna grab here is say if closest boss dot ID. I think they have a custom skin. Okay. Yeah. I have to look at that. So I'm just gonna say if they have an ID, we're gonna say var entity data is equal to get closest boss dot ID, and then we can do all this stuff. Okay, I can set that with a null. So now I'm gonna say entity data dot get music override. By default, it's null. Why is that saying expected else after ternary operator condition? Oh, missing a parenthesis. Sometimes it does that. It thinks that it's like a weird ternary thing, and so the error message is really confusing. And then what we're also going to do is have like a title for this guy in the entities table. Because we have like key name Calorus, key name Dreadcap, key name Spore. So those are what we're going to use for the actual title instead of grabbing it from inside the entity. Because right now I think it's just like a variable inside of here. Yeah, which is stupid. So we're gonna go down here and do that instead. So we're just gonna grab the name of the entity inside of here. Text is closest boss dot name. So that should be it. All right. I mean, there's nothing necessarily wrong with having this script in the player. We just need to make it so it works with multiple bosses and stuff. It's really stupid to check for, you know, like every single different boss with it like hard-coded in. This is not going to work. So we should be fine now, though. So when the boss dies or whatever, then we set it back to null 0.5. Epic. should be good to go then. Alright. Cool. I think that's it then for that. Everything should just work fine. We can get rid of also the little variables we have in here, the boss names, because we don't need that anymore. Same with Dreadcap. I always forget he's called Mushroom Boss. I'm a lot better about naming that stuff now. Like, whenever I add in a new entity or something, or a new building, I make sure I name it first before... Because I hate adding in temporary names and stuff. So he's immune to fire. Yeah, we should be good to go now with him. Cool. So let's close some things here. Close those other tabs. Close those other tabs. Alright. So... let's work on Calorus. This is Calorus. He's a funny little guy. So he does have a shape cast, and this is what we're going to use to do his ram attack. This is going to be basically the same as the base guy. Right, so we're going to do... we're going to have to set up, like, his actual, like, when does he do whatever attack, right? So, shouldn't be too bad. That's all if he is dashing and stuff. Although I'm going to change some stuff in here because I don't necessarily want him to just stop moving forever. So right here, as soon as he's done, I'm just going to say instantly navigates is true. That should be good there. Don't do any shaking stuff, or dust, or any slam sound. Get rid of that. And this is in Calorus, yeah. Segments, okay. So, that should be fine. We need to think about exactly how this guy's gonna, like, sort of work, right? So yeah. Let's go to what's the word? Miro. Let's go look at some of the attacks that Dylan wrote out for this guy. And then also the other step today is going to be modeling the body segment. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Yeah, I don't think the body segment's going to be that complicated. I think we're only also going to have to do two directions because I don't know if the diagonals are really necessary for this. Okay, so the attacks that he's got, I can probably show this, I just have to be careful. Okay, so this is him. He runs along like this. So what attack is going to be like this dash attack, and he's going to have a couple different paths that he can go in. So I think I like this, you know, these different routes. And the head targets specific people, which, yeah, it should just be whoever's closest to him. So headless segments, I don't think I'm gonna make it so he splits now in half. I mean, it's a cool idea, but it's just really hard to make that work with, like, a boss, because it's like... can't really separate them into other entities, because they have, like, one health bar and stuff. So it'd be weird if there was, like, 3 bosses, but they were all different entities, or it has to be, like, 1 health. I don't know. It's weird to set up, so I'm not gonna do that. But I think what would be cool, and I talked about with Dylan, is, like, basically, as you attack him, his segments start to break off, and that's kind of like his health, basically, is how many segments he has. So then the fewer segments he has, the quicker, more dangerous he gets, but obviously he's lower health. So it's kind of a way to, like, increase the difficulty of the boss fight. A lot of Terraria bosses do the same concept. Where it'll do like, for example, think of the Eye of Cthulhu. Like as you do more damage to the boss, he gets way faster, and then he also goes into a second phase. So I think it's a good way to make the boss fight more interesting. So I think that could be a cool thing to do. So one of the attacks here is a spin attack, which I think could maybe work. Animating that or whatever, it's kind of, I don't know. We'll have to think about how to do that. But we could just make him rotate around, probably. This one should be easy. This is just a fire blast. So we could just have him stop moving, and then he rotates his head toward a player and then shoots at a... Hey, Saddlex, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. How's it going? Yeah, welcome in. How's everyone doing? What were you up to today on your stream? SEO, search engine optimization raid. Let's go. Yeah. Sky is starting to. Yeah. I was a little late today because I just got a bunch of stuff going on. Yesterday I got fiber installed. I finally have gigabit internet, which is awesome. Because for the longest time I was just stuck with, well, for a long time I was stuck with DSL, which was terrible, guys. Don't get DSL. DSL sucks because it's the download like maximum speed is like 10 megabits. It's so slow. And the upload, don't even get me started, guys. It was like 1 megabyte upload. It was 1 megabit upload. It was terrible, really bad. Then we got cable eventually, which was definitely a nice upgrade. We had like 300 down, but the upload was always kind of slow. We had like 10 upload. Now we're on fiber, gigabit up and down. So my hope is that I can finally upload builds of Starground on stream without crashing everything. So we're gonna see what happens with that. But yeah, it's crazy because it's basically cheaper than our cable internet, which is pretty insane. But it's way better, lower ping, more stable, gigabit up and down. Yeah, I've been waiting so long to get fiber, you know? I swear it's been like a decade of me just hearing like, oh, friends have got gigabit now, and then I'm over here and waiting a million years for it, but finally it's here. But yeah, it's just more implementing my new input for the NPC logic. Oh, nice. Yeah, stuck on making NPCs jump for like 3-ish hours. That happens all the time when I'm working on stuff. It's like, I'm like, this will just be, you know, mess around with this little thing for 30 minutes, and then it's like, oh no, the entire stream was working on this one little thing that I couldn't get right. That happens all the time. But yeah. Yeah, NPC stuff. I need to definitely get around to that soon, like with, because we're going to be adding in questing really soon. Max has been working on writing all that out, and it's pretty much ready to go. So that and like questing, I'm going to have to get all that working and integrated with the NPCs. Yeah, it'll be much more convenient. Yeah, it's going to be great, because it'll just let me put more builds up. I don't have to time it to not be during stream and stuff. Just waiting, praying for my city to install fiber in my area. Yeah. I think it's definitely been like, I don't know what changed recently or whatever, but a lot of places are getting fiber. So hopefully it'll be out there soon. But yeah, I was like, man, they're never gonna install it here, but they finally did it. It'll be quick. It was indeed not quick. Yeah. Me whenever I work on anything in Starground. But maintaining older methods started to look more costly than fiber installation. Yeah, I think it's starting to definitely get to that point. I mean, fiber has also just gotten so cheap. Like the actual wiring and stuff is dirt cheap now. And it's not nearly as fragile and stuff as it used to be, so I think it's just becoming a much more viable option for people. What is behind here? Hold on. I'm gonna hide this for a second. It's locked under here. Hold on. I don't know what's here. Whoa. That's crazy. Okay. Anyways. I can't show you guys that. Here, wait, let me lock it again. Sorry. Okay. Crazy. Yeah, tech is evolved for sure, yeah. No, it's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm excited though. It'll be really great for streaming. I mean, the download is, you know, twice as fast basically, which will be nice, but the huge difference is going to be upload. That's going to be awesome. So, I've already noticed it's really just snappy. Like loading in web pages and stuff because the ping is so low. Like with cable, it's like your ping kind of hangs around like 50 to 100, but fiber's 3 milliseconds for me, so it's instant. But yeah, it's nice. I'm excited. It's nice to just like not have to worry about internet ever again, you know? Like it's so fast, it's basically like, I don't know. It's finally hit a spot where downloading things is super fast regardless of how big it is. I don't know, it's good. But yeah, anyways, what we're working on today is Calorus. This is the new boss for Starground. That's why the effect things working faster has on how everything feels when we're doing day-to-day stuff. Yeah, it feels like going up from like a 60 hertz monitor to a 240 hertz monitor. It's like it's just so much smoother and I don't know, better. Yeah. So yeah, this is Calorus. He is a new boss for Starground. He's like he kind of looks like a devil guy, but he's like a worm guy. So one of the new enemies, let's just boot up Starground. One of the new enemies in Starground is a worm centipede guy called the Fearwig. The boss is basically like a Fearwig, but bigger and scarier. So it uses a lot of the same code right now. Well, let me boot it up and show you guys how the Fearwig works. The boss is gonna be kind of like a Fearwig. I think it's cool to have like the boss of a certain zone reflect the enemies in that area. So like for example, the Dreadcap, it's like Dreadcap is basically a moonshroom, you know, but he's just more advanced. And I think that's good because it kind of gets people familiarized with his attack patterns and stuff before they actually have to fight him. So there's that little bit of like, I've seen this before. I kind of know how to already deal with this guy a little bit. But also sprinkling in the new scary attacks and stuff that people aren't expecting is nice, because then it's like a little familiar, but you've still got to figure everything out and know what he's about to do. So that's, I think, sort of what we're going with Calorus. Yeah, I love that way of foreshadowing the mechanic. Yeah, I think it's always really good when games do that, because it does help. It just helps, like, it makes it feel like the boss is not this, like, super unfair, difficult roadblock, because if you've already basically gone through part of it, then it just feels more fair. I don't know. But let's just create a Fearwig in here. Res scenes. Oops. Enemies. I can't type, dude. Okay, so this is the Fearwig. So he's like a centipede guy, and I got it set up with these segments so he like curves around and stuff. So you can see the segments will curve. I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with how the segments ended up. It's tricky doing like a worm movement thing like this. I had to use a remote transform so that these would kind of move independently of the actual entity, which is technically the head. Right, so like to kill this guy you have to hit his head. But I got it working. It's looking good, so I'm pretty happy with how it's set up. It's gonna be the same thing with Calorus. So yeah, this guy, he sees you, he tries to ram into you, you know, and then he'll keep going until he hits a wall, and then stop and retarget. So yeah, I think this guy's pretty cool. This is basically what the boss is going to be too. I can load in the boss, and you can see sort of what he's got going on right now. Right now, his body segments are still the Fearwig segments, so I need to change that, obviously. But his head is set up, you know. So he's a big evil one. He doesn't do the dashing yet. We're going to mess with when he does that and stuff. But yeah, his head rotation stuff is working, so I decided to model his head in Blender and then export out like 8 different rotations. Because with how big he is and stuff, it just felt really weird with having only the cardinals. So I have the diagonals in here too, and I think that helps a lot. But yeah, I think the Blender method for bosses has really been nice. It's so much faster. A lot of the times I have to spend, you know, time going back through and cleaning up the sprite and stuff, but it still saves us a ton of time with like the perspective of like how are the horns gonna kind of be angled and stuff. It's just, yeah, it's helpful. Gonna be annoying with dealing with other enemies. Yeah, probably. We can go into a room and fight some guys to see, but yeah, this guy's coming along. I mean, we just need to model his body segments, and that'll obviously help a lot with his appearance. And then, kind of get his boss arena set up. I think he's gonna, like, maybe have a couple modes where, like, he chases the player, you know, and tries to bite them or something, and then maybe we'll have one where he stops and shoots, like, a little flamethrower thing out. And then it would be cool if he also randomly will, like, run away down the side of the building and then come back and dash around. You know, so you just have to avoid his attacks and stuff. I think it'd be cool. It's gonna be tricky for him to, like, do the whole building thing because, it's like, then he relies on the room that he's in. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it'll be a little weird. We can get it working, though, I think. Welcome back, Oshik. Baby wasps don't go away when damaged. Yeah, I think I purposely did that. Just because they're so weak, it's basically you can one-shot them, so I figured it was weird if they stopped, because then what's the point? Yeah, I gotta change his death corpse, obviously, but... Yeah, one thing we need to also do today is, work on the corpses, because the little baby wasp guys don't have their own death corpse. Like, right now it's the big one, so it looks really weird when they die. We're gonna fix that. And same with the Fearwigs. Right now their corpses are, I think they're also the bugs. The boring wasps. So yeah, we're probably gonna work on that. So yeah, we're just gonna spend some time drawing probably right now. Get all that set up. Yeah, these guys work though. I think where these guys will be a lot more interesting in too is multiplayer, because like they'll kind of spread out and attack different people. So that'll be interesting. It's also gonna be interesting because like there's also kind of a good reason to have like a tank within your team now, right? Because like if you're playing on multiplayer, and especially with those guys, it's like have one guy kind of in the middle fighting the melee and then another guy off on the side using ranged, right? So I don't know, it's interesting. We're gonna have to experiment around with stuff. Well, so I think the gun might collide with the wall here. I need to get a different weapon because this one has 0 range. Here, let's take these schrommels out and stuff and actually give it some distance here. Oh, I'm killing the fish, I'm sorry. Well, let's go see if this collides with the walls. I might have to mark these as like being different or something. Okay, no, it doesn't. I guess we're fine. It's probably because I didn't mark them as being solid. I think that's what I did. Okay. Yeah, so you can shoot across these platforms and stuff, which is good. I think that's what I want. Hive is dead. We also need another corpse sprite for the hive as well, so a lot of corpses we gotta draw. That's fine, we'll do that. Yeah, you need someone to draw aggro? Yeah. I think it'd be cool to add in an artifact into the game that, like, makes you a target by enemies and stuff. Kind of like, there's accessories like that in Terraria. I think that, like, wearing the turtle shell armor makes enemies prioritize you over other people and stuff like that. So, I think it'd just be interesting to throw stuff in like that. You know, make the combat more interesting, especially with multiplayer. Obviously on single player, that stat just doesn't really matter at all, but it'd be cool in multiplayer. I know a lot of people do play Starground for the multiplayer anyways, so why not add in multiplayer specific stuff, right? Yeah, I'm liking how the combat's sort of feeling so far in this zone. Because it's interesting. Like, the worm guys are kind of fun to deal with. Hey, Robbie. What's up? Thank you. Appreciate it. How's it going, Robbie? But yeah, the worm guys are kind of fun to deal with because it's like, you can kind of like, I don't know. Like, you can jump out of the way and stuff and dash, so it's like you want to move in a specific pattern to, like, get them all lined up and go into the wall and then get out of the way and kill the other guys. I don't know, it's just more involved. Instead of just guy follows and runs toward you, it's more interesting, I think. But I think so far it's feeling pretty good. There's still a lot more that we have to work on for this zone. Obviously, we still need special rooms and stuff in here. I don't think there's any special rooms yet. Right now, it's just combat rooms. I need to add in, like, a chest room and just all the other stuff. We have some ideas of some special rooms specific to this zone. Like, there's one for a, like, a little underground vault thing that you can open up if you find the numbers scattered around the dungeon. I don't know, there's some interesting things I want to do. But it's coming along. Oh. And I could have a taunt artifact, maybe a shadow clone thing that has the aggro buff on it. That'd be cool. Like, you could activate, like, you could press a key or something, or maybe it could be like a weapon component where you right click and it creates like a shadow player so that the enemies will target that and then you can, like, run away or something. That could be kind of cool. I don't know how I would do that. I'd have to create, like, a dummy player. I don't know if I have, like, I don't know if the code is set up to have a dummy player, but I could modify, I'm sure. I do want to make it so enemies can target different entities, because right now they pretty much only target the player, which is fine for now, because, I mean, the only thing they've attacked up until now is just the player, but it would be cool if I could, like, I don't know, they attack a building or they attack another enemy or something. I'm definitely going to work on that. Huge chest when open spawn an invincible enemy that chases the player for the rest of the floor. That would be kind of cool, honestly. I heard I think it was Dylan talking about it or something, or Ace, one of those two. But apparently there's an enemy in Dead Estate that is invincible and just chases you through the dungeon, which is really cool. I think that's kind of a sick concept of, like, a invincible enemy that's kind of slow, but almost like the, I don't know, I haven't played it, but like Nemesis in Resident Evil 2 or whatever. I think, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure he chases you throughout the game. But I don't know. Haven't played the game. That's just a wild guess. But it would be cool to do something like that. Because we have, enemies can go on zip lines and doors and stuff, so, I mean, it's totally viable that we could do that. We could spawn in an enemy that you can't really kill. Or at least an enemy that's, like, kind of like the Warden in Minecraft, where he just has an insane amount of health, so you're not really meant to kill him, but if you really wanted to, you could. I could see something like that, maybe. Yeah, constant time pressure. Yeah. It could be kind of cool. maybe we could add something like that. I don't know. I'll definitely write that down though, because I think it's a fun idea. And I just, yeah, I don't think it's going to be very difficult either. Because it's basically just open chest and then spawn an enemy. So let me write that down. Epic chest reward, but spawns in guy that is invincible and chases you through the dungeon. Yeah. Sure, I'll make it what's best as is, but it's a fun idea. Yeah. Yeah, Dead Estate has it for spending too much time at one floor. Okay, yeah. Still haven't played Dead Estate. I need to get all the Two Left Thumb games. I need another Two Left Thumbs publisher sale. I should have grabbed them all then, but I was just so busy, man. I was like, oh, I didn't have time to think about getting games. But it would be cool. Maybe I'll just have to look out for sales and stuff. I mean, none of them are really that expensive. I could just probably buy them outright, but I'm a little goblin, guys. I like my sales, you know. I like to spend less money. Because the thing is on Steam, it's like sales are basically a guarantee. Like, there will eventually be a sale for practically every game. So I always just wait. Feels like I'm getting a better deal, which I am, but I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, let's just start drawing some corpses and stuff for all these guys then. I think it's gonna be the play. We're also gonna need to get around to new weapon parts and stuff. I would like to work on some new melee parts because it's been a little while since then. You know, we've done a lot of ranged parts recently, which has been good. No problem with that. Oh, this one's dangerous with these guys because you get really crammed into the corner, you know? Yeah, this should feel pretty easy with this weapon. I'm not going to be balancing this level for the frickin' Dragon Slayer. I'm kind of expecting people to run into this dungeon with maybe like an iron sword or something, or maybe a basic little poison gun like this. So we'll see. I'm going to keep tweaking the values on these guys until it feels right. That's what a big part of what the, you know, experimental build that people can play is going to be for, right? Of like, play through and let me know what you guys think about the balancing. So yeah, let's just draw some freaking corpses. So I want to draw a corpse for the little baby wasp guy. I don't think it's going to be that hard because he's tiny. So let's do that. Once I get this loaded up. Also, something I've noticed that I think would be nice if we changed is these corpse sprites are kind of oriented a specific way always. It would be cool if the sprite on the main entity was flipped to the right or whatever, then, or flipped to the left, then it would also flip the corpse to the left. It would just help like break up this monotony a little bit. So maybe we also add that in really quick. I don't think it's gonna be that hard. Because I already have up an entity. I think I grabbed the main sprite right in here somewhere. Yeah, right here. So we can just say when we spawn in our corpse, which is like on death or something, right here. I'm just gonna say if main sprite, as long as we have one, then corpse.fliph is equal to main sprite.fliph. So I think that'll be just a nice little thing. Now the question is, I know that animated sprites you can flip. I'm pretty sure you can also flip regular sprites, but I just need to make sure, because if you can't, then okay, yeah, you can. So we're good. Cool. Alrighty. Is this a child of like a parent sprite node, or is it just, yeah, it's just node 2D, okay. I kind of wish Sprite 2D and Animated Sprite 2D would inherit from some parent class, but they don't, so it's fine, I guess. Okay, so We are going to draw the little baby guy. So let's open him up. Should be one of the newer ones in here. Boring baby. Boring junior. So I think we could take like this one. Oh. Paint.net crash? This is puzzling. This doesn't happen very often with Paint.net. Usually it's pretty stable. Okay, yeah, it's fine. That is one thing I can say is that's nice about Paint.net is it rarely ever crashes for me. It's like basically never does. Unless I'm doing something really stupid that deserves to crash, you know what I mean? Like creating an image that's like 1,000,000 pixels wide or something. So let's see. It's gonna be kind of a mess, but we'll clean it up. My settings are stupid. Okay. Hello? There we go. So he's gonna be just kind of flattened out. Let's get rid of all the white bits. His eyes are gonna be dark void. Okay, fix all the outline mess. Then there's gonna be like the drill bit over here. It's gonna be silver. Kind of like that. And I think I'm gonna move the head down. Oops. Including that segment. Sort of like that. I think for bugs, it always looks good if they like get curled up, because bugs just do that when they die. I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why. It's because like they're like spiders and stuff, they're hydraulics. It's always so weird to think that spiders are hydraulics. Like, they don't really have muscles. They use liquid to move their legs and stuff, which is so weird. It's kind of cool, but it's also a little scary. Spiders are basically freaking aliens, guys. I'm not even joking. Like, how do they come up with that? I know it's not like they choose to, but you know, that's such a weird way to move your legs. It's like, oh yeah, I'm actually just gonna use liquid to make them move. This is weird. Alright, so this is the corpse for this guy. Boring junior corpse. And then I'm still conflicted on how I'm going to do the corpse for the fear wigs. And the reason is because they have a bunch of segments. So should I make each segment drop its own corpse, or should I just do, you know, I don't know yet. It's a little tricky. Oh, what am I doing? Entities table. Boring junior. So corpse, replace that now with boring junior corpse. Cool. I don't like spiders. Yeah. Spiders are kind of creepy. I don't really mind them that much. I mean, I'm not like afraid of spiders, but I definitely understand the fear because they are freaking weird little aliens. A lot of bugs do look like little aliens, but it's also weird because they have like weird lungs and stuff too. Spiders are weird. Just how they're built, like the anatomy of spiders and stuff. if you really think about it, they're really like wacky guys. Like, they make silk. They're also poisonous. Their lungs are like, they got weird, like, what do they call that? Book lungs or whatever? They're just weird. And their legs have liquid, and they pressurize their legs to move. It's so weird. Must have been some early scenario where it was really important to be able to move in conditions that wouldn't support muscles. Yeah. I don't know how that would even happen, man. I mean, why wouldn't muscles work? I don't know. I mean, I wonder if it's just like using hydraulics is probably really low energy. Right? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think they do have muscles because they have to like squeeze things to increase the pressure inside of their body, but it's still really weird. Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Hemolymph is used to move nutrients around. What? So, okay. Okay, it's a fluid similar to blood, but it's different. Man, it just keeps getting weirder. I thought they were weird, but now I realize they're weird. And they secrete fluids to make them move better. Man. It makes sense that spiders are used as, like, so many aliens are spider-like. Humans also use liquid to turn solid. That's true, that's true. Yeah, I meant venomous also, yeah. Poisonous is when you eat it, and venomous is when it gets injected. Small scales, it might be difficult to generate enough force via tugging at tendons. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if it makes them, like, really strong or good at, like if they have, like, a fly in their web or something, like, they can grab onto them really tight. I don't know. Spider biology is pretty interesting. It would be cool to, like, actually research that more and try to understand why they're built that way. But it's kind of cool. They're basically like robots, if you think about it. And yeah, they're book lungs, which are also really weird. Because, like, book lungs are mostly just spiders, like a spider exclusive thing. So weird. I mean, I think there might be other animals or creatures that have book lungs, but I know spiders, like, always consistently have them. So they do have a brain and stuff, and a liver and heart. And intestines. So, I mean, they're somewhat similar to, like, other creatures, but they're weird. Venomous, poisonous from foolishly eating something you shouldn't. Yeah, exactly. Next Starground enemy spider thing. I mean, we basically already have a spider. The Diatomatus is a spider, practically. He's in his weird sprite right now. He's rotating. But this guy's a little spider. Is him moving around. It's so hard to animate spider legs moving. I really would love to still move this over into, like using procedural or inverse kinematics, because I think it would just look way better, but I don't know how to get it working with top-down perspective. I did send my code and stuff over to Jams, and he did say that he got it working, but I don't know. That just never went anywhere, so maybe one day we'll figure that out. Oh, I'd have infinite time and study every curiosity fully. Yeah. Would be nice. Alright, so we got that guy's corpse. So yeah, what I'm conflicted about right now with the Fear Wig is, do we make a corpse for every single segment? Or do we just make a corpse for, like, just kind of a standardized corpse for the Fearwig? I don't know. The only issue is that Fearwigs have a random number of segments. They spawn with 3 to 6 segments. I mean, what I could do is override the corpse spawning stuff, right? It's possible. I'd have to basically just copy all this stuff. So we could. I might make another function in here that's specifically just called generate corpse. So that I can control which corpses and stuff get generated. And then I want to pass in stuff like a sprite, right? A position. So position, sprite. Just so that then what I can do inside of our worm guy is just loop through all of our segments and create a corpse for each one. Because we're probably going to want that kind of logic anyways for our big guy, for Calorus. So it'd be nice to just get that working now. So position is a vector 2. Sprite is a texture or something. Texture 2D, I think. So we need that, sprite offset. So position, sprite offset is also a vector 2. The actual sprite, the scale, which is a vector 2. Lifespan, which is a float. I think that's basically it in here. I mean, it would be nice if I can also specify which death sounds and stuff if I want to, but yeah. Corpse death flip H. If main sprite, that one's fine. Death sounds. Death sprite. So now what I could do it here is just say, you know, generate corpse, and then move all this stuff into here. I just want to have a little more control over how the corpses get spawned in, because it's still nice and automatic this way, but then we can override this behavior for specific enemies like the worm guy. So we're going to pass in global position. Sprite offset. Corpse scale. It's gonna complain about, yeah. New corpse lifespan. And then that's adding to, we have to say a position instead of global position. Sprite offset, which has to be new sprite offset. Yeah, that's mostly everything in here. And there's still a couple things in here, like the death sounds and stuff, which I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. And then corpse sprite will also be our sprite. Particles, which is fine, just to get the hit particles. Depends on how much functionality we want here, I guess. Might be a good idea just to pass in like a dictionary for all this stuff, honestly. And just call this corpse data. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, this is gonna be better, I think. Then I can just say var corpse data as a dictionary instead of passing in like a million different arguments. because it's starting to get a little crazy. Now we can say position. And this will just be all the default stuff. Sprite offset. What was sprite offset before? Here, let's go back. Let's go back. I need to see what these things actually were. Oh, corpse offset. Okay. So before we do that, let's do corpse data. Corpse data. So, position. Sprite offset. Sprite. Scale. Lifespan. Death sounds. And I think that's good. So this will basically just be the defaults for this stuff. Sprite offset will be corpse offset. Sprite will be corpse. It should be down here. Death sprite. Scale is scale. Lifespan. Corpse lifespan. Death sounds. Death sounds. And then we're just going to pass in this corpse data. Type of dictionary. Okay. So now on all these, we're going to say that position. Dot sprite offset. Times corpse data dot scale. That lifespan. Corpse data dot position again. And then death sounds is just going to be that death sounds dot pick random. And I might also, like, run get on all these and stuff, just so that if we don't pass in the right data, it doesn't crash the game. So we got an ad starting in a minute. My apologies, gamers. So, like, on position and stuff, I might just say corpse cycle position is going to be corpse data dot get position. And by default, it'll just be global position. Stuff like that. Then I guess we could actually just pass in null, and it'll just work. Sprite offset will just be vector2.0. Well, we're not going to pass in null, because this is for if we don't have any data. Scale, vector2.11. Lifespan will just be, I guess, just a default of like 10. I think I'd rather have a limited default. Ads, my apologies, gamers. All right. So that's fine. If corpse data.get death sounds. By default, that's an empty array. If death. Here, I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to say var new death sounds is that. Oops. Then I'm going to say corpse.death sound is that.pick random. And then probably same with Death Sprite. I guess there we can just say corpse data.get sprite. So that'll be, if there is no sprite, it'll just be null, so it'll be invisible. And okay, I think we're good. Let me just make sure though. So that'll generate with the corpse data. So it should by default be our position, corpse offset, death sprite scale, corpse lifespan, and death sounds. Cool. And do we have a corpse scale? We do. Okay, so we're gonna use that. Then generate corpse. We're gonna load the corpse scene, set the position. And now all the defaults with this are set so that like if you pass in data or something or it doesn't exist, then it'll still behave and do something. So that'll empty or give it an empty one. Cool. All right. So now, guys, we can run this generate corpse function. Gotta remember to return void. Doesn't actually matter, but so we're gonna do this inside of the Fearwig now. So whenever the Fearwig dies, we're gonna create a corpse for each segment. So basically, what I'm gonna do is just have a on death function in here that gets overridden. So that's just going to override what happens in here. And that should also say if play death. So that should be fine there. And then we're going to do it differently on how we actually generate this stuff. So we will generate one just for the head, which is going to be all the default stuff. But then I'm going to run another one that's for eye and segments. Which I should have in here. Might not actually save the segments, but I know we do that in Calorus, so. Do I not? I mean, I have a variable for it. I don't think I do. Well, when we generate our segments, let's make sure that we say segments.pushback. .pushback segment. And then same in Calorus. I don't think I was doing that. Yeah. Function on death. I know. Hopefully that doesn't cause issues. Does anybody else use on death? Nope, just the Fearwig. So now it's going to complain that it's not the same signature or whatever. All right, for eye and segments, this is where we're going to generate the corpses for the body segments. So we're going to say corpse data position is eye.global position. Sprite offset is just going to be the same as our corpse offset. Sprite, so this one's going to be a different corpse sprite than our regular death or corpse sprite. Scale is still going to be our corpse scale. Lifespan will still be our lifespan. Death sounds will still be our death sounds. Oh, but actually we don't want any death sounds to play because we only want one to play. So I'm actually just going to make that an empty array. There's already a variable named corpse data. There is. Corpse data 2. All right. So the sprite is going to have to change. We're going to do that in here. Fearwig, just say var segment corpse is load. Sprites, Fearwig, body corpse. So So let's open that up. Oh, excuse me. So it's going to be this one. The legs are going to be kind of splayed out. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Guess that's how I'm gonna do it. All right. And this is gonna be gray. Oops. Fearwig, body, corpse. And then we need one for the head. Hopefully this will look cool. I think it'll just look way more cool if like the corpse is kind of more dynamic or whatever. I don't even know how this is gonna be. Here, what's 36 times 4? I can't math, guys. I forgot how to do math. No, not actually, but it's faster doing it this way. 144. So we're gonna start right there. 36. Crop it. And eyes are black as coal. Main body, darker segment, and darkest. Okay. That's basically it for that. I don't think I need to do much for his head's corpse. Okay. So now, that should be it. We got the segment, body, corpse. So we're gonna call this segment corpse. And we're gonna see what happens. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it should spawn in all the corpses for all those, because we generate corpse with corpse data too. So let's try it out. Soda. You know, Joe Biden. Okay. Let's go take a look at these little wormy guys. Funny wormies. Let's just go into a room and just take a look at them. All right. So these guys haven't changed. Oh, it's not happy. Let's have flip H with value of bool and base object node 2D. Oh. Whoopsies, guys. I actually need to reference the main sprite on the corpse. Unless it's already got a reference. No. My bad. Let's try that again. The only issue with the wormy guy and his corpse is that, like, if it's facing to the left, since it has a different sprite for every direction, it means it's going to look a little weird. We might have to get it set up so it changes the sprite depending on, you know, which direction it was already in. I guess we could just make the corpse like an animated sprite? I don't know. We'll figure that out. Let's just see what this looks like. So it should spawn in a corpse for every body segment. But it did not. So spawning in the one, so I'm not sure what's up. It definitely spawns a lot of particles. I mean, it looks like it should be working. But it's not. There are some errors thrown in here, maybe... Oh, it didn't find it? Thought I named it. Earwig body corpse. Oh, it's hot PNG. Okay, that's probably why it's not working. Also, one thing I need to make sure is when we actually generate the corpse, we do create, or we copy our hit particles, right? But we need that position to be relative to where our global position is, right? So I think what we need to say is... Right, corpse.particles is equal to that, but we need to say... How does that work? Do we set it and then we add it in here? Yeah, we do. We add child particles. So I think what we need to say is like this. We do duplicate the particles, but corpse particles dot position. We can just corpse dot particles dot global position is equal to position. But I don't always want it to do that. I don't know, it's a little tricky. I basically just want to get like the offset between our regular global position and our set position, right? Okay, I think what I need to do is this. I think I'm gonna say var diff is global position minus, right? Corpse data dot get. So that's going to be the difference between those two. And then on particles, I'm basically just going to say corpse right here. Corpse.particles.global position plus equals diff. So that way it's just going to stay, like it'll still have the relative offset, but it'll stay centered around the starting position that we actually give it. So that should work. Okay, well, let's restart again and try it out. Miro! Yeah. You know, something I've been meaning to do. I'm gonna change our sub goal back down. Yeah, it's up at 40. That's too high. End goal. And now let's create a new one. Let's go to 15. Just gonna play a funny little noise. Okay. All right, back to Tephra. Let's go take a look at these wormy guys. Oh, come on. Ooh, the corpse is right. That looks pretty good. Sometimes it's still a little funny, it feels like. No, that seemed okay. It's hard to see because they're all stacked on each other, but let's just create one guy. Fearwig. And just kill him and see what it looks like. Come on, buddy. Yeah, no, that looks good. Obviously, we need to change this sprite to be his head, but I think that's what we want. Also, I have no idea why that shows number 1 on the item. It shouldn't do that. Why does it do that? It's so odd. Why did that show number 1? Because when it's just one item, normally, right? Like it doesn't show a number like that. That's really weird that it showed 1 coin. Unless that was no, it's not a 7. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so we gotta change all the head sprites now. I guess inside of this Fearway guy, I can just check if we were going left or right or whatever, and then do it that way. That's probably gonna be the way to do it. So we start at 0. Okay, so what I'm gonna say here then is for our flip or whatever. I'm gonna change generate corpse to also include flip, so right here. I'm just gonna say if corpse data dot flip. Or we can't say that because if it's false, then it'll think that it's false. Okay. Oh, but I guess it doesn't matter because if it is false, then we're not even gonna flip it. Yeah, that should be fine. And we're just gonna do that as equal to... Well, we'll just say if it has flip. Corpse data dot get flip. Okay, so that'll check if we're manually choosing whether to flip the sprite or not. And then set it to that, otherwise we check whatever the flip is of the main sprite. So that should work. So now in the Fearwig, I can modify this, so we're gonna say flip is equal to direction let's see, less than, so we have, let's go see what different directions we have. So I'll just say if it's less than 2, then we flip it, yeah. Less than 2, or direction is greater than 6. So then that'll flip the corpse horizontally. So let's try that out. That should work. We're probably gonna have to do that same stuff over on our funny guy, on Calorus, but we'll see. Oh. Okay. Ephra, yeah. And I'm just gonna spawn a guy in here. Res scenes. Enemies. Fearwig. Alright, so if he's pointing to the left, he should be flipped over here when we kill him. If we get unstuck. Okay, buddy. Oh, I didn't change the sprite, but it did flip to the left, so I think it'll work. Let's go change that sprite. So his sprite should now be Fearwig Head Corpse. Song goes hard, guys. Okay. All right, let's give this another check. Hurry, kill him! Oh shoot. Oh shoot. That looks good. So if he's coming at us to the right, yeah, he looks to the right. Cool. Well, I like those corpses for these guys because it just looks so much more interesting when it's actually the full segment. Really, the other option was going to be just doing like a little curled up, like, you know, thing of his body, but I think this works really well because he's got different amounts of segments and stuff depending on how he gets spawned in. So I think it's good to do it this way. Meat. Meat is pretty useless. X-Polish, well, thank you, thank you. Cool. Then we got the little baby sprite. One sprite that we also need to do is the hive. Don't forget that, guys. Which this one's pretty easy because we're just gonna freaking carve out a chunk. Right. And we're just gonna grab all this, and then that's sort of where the back will be, I think. Which we're gonna sort of blend in with that. And we're gonna have like bits here that are like broken off, you know. It's a lot of fun to anti-alias sprites and stuff like this, you know. Makes me want to make a whole game that has like really anti-alias sprites. I mean, Starground does have some anti-aliasing, but I never went super hard with it just because, I don't know, it wasn't the initial style I was sort of going for. But I think I've done a lot more anti-aliasing recently with more sprites, so. Let's see, get that in there. It's just gonna be broken around the edge over here. It's just gonna look sort of like that. To alias a couple things in here. That should be basically it. I'm probably gonna put a... We'll actually probably go black with this here. Just so like this is sort of the edge back here. So it looks like it has some height. This will go back to being this color though. Kind of like that, and then all this stuff up top goes away. Now, since the hive isn't technically alive, I'm not gonna make it gray like the living creatures always are. Just 'cause I make them gray just because it's like the life's been sucked out of them, you know? It's like, oh, they were a husk of what they once were, but this is, I don't know, feels like I shouldn't do that. So I think this is all we really need to do for this. Maybe even have like a little bit of like a, you know, kind of like it was up tall. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Boring hive corpse. But one thing I may do, possibly, is just kind of lower the brightness of it. But it probably blends in enough with the background, so I think it's fine. I know it's not technically a corpse, because the hive isn't technically alive, but it technically is. So death sprite is going to be sprites boring hive corpse. And then the death sound on this is not going to be Pecky die. So we're going to change that. So Deja Vu, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. RPG inventory screen, tune equipment, party items, and 4 items. All were using their own scripts. Oh, yeah. Spent 2 days reducing it to a single script for all 3 to remove their abundant code. Nice. It's always really nice to be able to delete stuff like that. That's... yeah, refactoring can be kind of nice sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. You know, sometimes it's annoying to refactor, but getting to delete a bunch of stuff is always kind of nice. But yeah, no, it's definitely nice to simplify that all up. See now, analyzer net resulted minus $5,000 worth of work, yeah. That's me whenever I work on anything for Starground. I'm probably technically, like, if you're valuing your time at minimum wage, I'm definitely way below that. But it's okay. Technically, I've lost thousands and thousands of dollars, but yeah. I'm just wondering if I have any good sounds in here I could already use as the hive death sound. Because we've got a lot of, like, building sound effects and stuff, so let's see what we have in here, right? Blue Poppy. Boss explosion, bubble stream. Building land, building fall. I haven't used a lot of these, like... I don't use those anymore. Also, sorry that's so loud. My god. I don't use those ones anymore. I just use building land. Those are the ones that I use for the buildings. Building picker is that one. Burgundy talking cell drop. Oh, that's for the inventory. Ceramic. Not that one. The code is cleaner. Fixing a bug they're all having is a fix in a single place. Yeah, that is the great thing about clean code. Like simplifying and making everything like the same. Because then if you fix one bug, you've now fixed the bug for all of it. That's one of the big reasons I do a lot of inheritance in Starground, like with the entities and stuff, because like if I want to change something, and it also works the other way too, like yes, fixing a bug fixes it for all the things, but the other way is too is that adding something adds it for all of them too. So For example, like if I make the player be able to move on through the door or something in the dungeons, then that means all of the entities can, right? So it's nice to do inheritance that way, like break everything up into big general classes, because it makes your game way more flexible with mechanics like that. Things just kind of work. So it works or it's old broke. Yeah, it's one of the two. But no, it's definitely worth it to refactor. As boring and stuff as it is, it's pretty important, you know. Maybe we do a chomp. Can't remember how those were even made. I think I made those. Coin drop. Confetti craft. Oh, that's like the, you know. Dadamus' death. There's the egg crack, which kind of works a little bit, but not quite. Fuse, what is that? Oh, that's the bomb. Laser end, that's for the player. Magic. Oh yeah. Mushrooms, ocean ambience, nuclear explosion. Orchid. That's for April Fools. Paddling. Plant harvest. I mean, that's kind of the sound I want, but that's way too quiet. But I guess I can modify that. No, because it's used in a corpse. Pod land, pod open, purchase. Quack? I don't know where... Oh, yeah, I use that on one April Fool's again. Rain, researcher, reactor, revolver, robot, rod, roll, rubble. I mean, rubble is not terrible. Technically it works. But really what I need is like, I need like cardboard breaking sound, you know? Like, I imagine this has probably got like the texture of paper or cardboardy. It's like a hive, right? So like, I need some like kind of paper sound. Like paper, not necessarily crumbling, but kind of like that. I think we can work with that, though. And then each of the hits could just be like... we've got the wood break. I think the wood break for this will be fine. But yeah, for the actual destruction of it, I think a nice paper crumple would be nice. Because we're going to need to use obsidian, document why, and yeah, what each sound is used for, yeah. It would be nice. Yeah, I can't view owners of this, can I? Oh, no, you can. So, I mean, that's one way of knowing where each thing is, because you can just view owner on this and be like, where is that used? Star Launcher Shoot is used in the Star Launcher. Step Grass is used in the player and also the break effect. So, I mean, it's fine. I do really like that feature in Godot, being able to see where the assets are used, because it really helps when they're like, I want to delete this script, but I can't remember if I actually used it for anything or not. You can just view owners and be like, okay, yeah. There's a lot of old sounds and stuff in the game I don't use anymore. Ugh. I have all these button sounds and stuff for like the UI, but I can't get it like set up right. One of these days I might make a parent class for the button so that we can do sounds and stuff with it. But that's going to be a lot of work, so I'm going to have to go through every single button in the game, which is like hundreds of them. So, I don't know, man. And it's also like all the buttons that don't have a script too. I'm going to have to... Oof. Yeah, it's frick ton. Yeah, I don't know, man. Might be a little tricky. Alright, is Premiere open? Let's go. Okay, paper crumble. Sure, let's start it there. And just fade it out. I think like to right there or something would be nice. And then effects, audio effects. Just search for fade. Exponential fade. Let's try that. That, and then maybe also throwing in the rebel sound we have would be nice, because I feel like it just needs a little bit more bassiness to it. And the rebel's nice for that. It's like, you know. So let's open in File Manager, throw that in and layer it on. This is the nice thing about having CC0 sounds is you can just mix and match as much as you want to your heart's content. Yeah, that's good. Maybe even extend out the rebel so it's like... I guess we'd have to extend this out then. Yeah, it's nice. Alright, that'll work. Export it. I don't want to do a bunch of sound stuff today, so... but call this Hive Break. Okay. So now this one will be Hive Break. Epic. Alrighty. So that guy's basically done. I think we're good. Yeah, let's go test out all this stuff now. So we need to check sound stuff on the Hive, the new Hive Corpse. Should all be fine. Sees your Adam, I'm sitting for when I get around to adding sound effects. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, definitely. It's just very nice because free sound is great because you can sort by CC0. CC0 is basically just public domain. But like we can read up on it. And owners of copyright or anything. Or that's, wait, no, that's no rights. CC0. Here, where's like the description of it? But yeah, basically it's practically, yeah. You can, the thing is you can also like take copyright over it because it's just saying it's no rights reserved. So waive all copyright and related rights to their works to the fullest extent allowed by law. So, but yeah, it's nice. What's great about CC0 is it's basically like, okay, cannot guarantee relinquishment, blah, blah. Yeah. But yeah, it's just good. Blah, blah, blah. It's essentially marking it as public domain of just saying, do whatever you want. So you can use it with personal or commercial, and then you can also use it in stuff that you own copyright for, so like you can claim ownership over it too. Stuff like that. So, yeah. But that's why I recommend always, like, when people are doing audio stuff, is just use Creative Commons Zero stuff for licensing. You never have to worry about copyright stuff. Nobody's ever going to show up and be like, hey, that's actually mine. Because it's CC0. I don't know if you can necessarily claim ownership over the individual sound effect. Like, I don't think if you're using it, you can't go after somebody else because you own copyright, but nobody can, like, claim that you're using their sound. I guess that's the benefit of CC0, right? So, and it's great because since there's no rights, you can modify, you can change it, and it's just completely free. So, but yeah, it's always important to pay attention to licenses for stuff when you're using assets. Because you don't want to run into issues, right? Just need sounds. I don't want to own. Yeah. That's totally fair. Yeah, CC0 is great. It's just don't have to worry about it, you know. Shuck them in, do whatever. There's no, like, you're allowed to use it, but you can't modify, or you have to put everybody in the credits. That's one thing that I hate. Like, it's not that I don't want to credit people, but it's just the process of having to mark down every single asset that you've gotten and then put everyone down to the credits. It's just really annoying and time consuming. And it also gets really complicated when you, like, you know, modify the sound and stuff. Is it their sound anymore? Because then also, like, what's the line between, like, using it as a sample? It just gets really complicated. So I'm always just like, yeah, CC0. A copy of Zombicide White Death has arrived. I haven't heard of that before. Zombicide White Death. Hey, yo. It's a board game? Yeah. And board games are pretty fun. I need to play more. Yeah. That's kind of my problem, is that I'm always programming and I never actually give myself any time to do other stuff. To play games. Dylan is on the board. So we're going to create a boring hive just to make sure everything sounds good here and looks right. So it should shoot out a little guy. Yeah. His corpse is good. So yeah, the sounds on this sound fine, and then when we break it, yeah, just is like a little thing. Cool. Also, one thing I think, which is weird, is I think it has a corpse offset. Yeah, so just get rid of that. I think the entities table does have defaults, right? Yeah. No! No! You're lucky I wasn't on the Miro board. Okay, also this is vector 2.0. Just say vector 2.0, guys, come on. What are you doing? Alright, so the hive should be good. There's no offset now, and it shows the little thing, and yeah, we're gaming. We run around, scavengers for loot, smash zombies, and escape. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun. I do like me some survival. Yeah, there's some games I've been meaning to pick up. Like, I really wanted to play Crashlands 2. I was gonna grab it, but I'm just so busy programming. But I'm definitely thinking about it. What are these little goobers doing? Dylan is following me right now. All right. So I think we're good on like enemy corpse stuff and sounds. I'm honestly fine with the baby boring guy just using the same the sounds I use in the boring, because I think it's fine. These guys do just use the pecky sounds, but I mean, there's not really anything wrong with those sounds, you know? They work. I mean, it sounds like a bug, like a flying bug, so I don't really see a huge need to swap those out when they basically work just fine. I could later on or something modify those or swap out those sounds to just be a little bit different, but I don't even know what I would really do to make them different anyways, so I think it's probably okay. Whoa. Let's drawing out some Japanese or something. Crazy. Cool. Well, I think we're good on enemy stuff for a second here. What else are we gonna have to do soon? I do want to work on obstacles and stuff. I don't know exactly what the obstacles are. I look at Miro. I think some might have been drawn out. Can't remember where, though. I don't know if any were ever drawn out. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out. Okay, what do we want to work on next? It's probably time to just start kind of finalizing the boss here. One thing we actually need to do really quickly is the doors in Tephra. We don't actually have the boss variant right now, so let's just do that. Just get that moving. So here's that. We need to pull up the regular dungeon doors. Dungeon doors. Let's sort by name. Door. Actually, it's probably called boss door. Boss door. Here we go. So we're just going to use this little skull icon thing again. I'm just going to keep this as a universal symbol for the boss room. Because why not? And we're going to move that there. So we're going to have to kind of move around these doors a little bit until they're where we want. So like that. We're just going to thicken these up, I guess. Like so. Delete those bits. Get the other colors down here. Boom, boom. Well, actually, this one will be brighter and that one's darker. Sort of like that. Now, actually, we can grab that one and that one. Yeah, that's better. Now we're just going to paste this around on all the different doors. So let's go ahead and rename this Tephra Door Boss Down. Now I need to check the naming convention I used for this because I think I did. We go into the door scene. Okay, I put boss on the very end. Tephra door down. Tephra door down, boss. I hope we don't end up with any like weird alignment issues. We'll have to see on that. It depends. Wait, that was Tephra door up. Whoopsies. Tephra door up, boss. Now in this one, we can go a little more to the right here. I don't think we want to go any more to the left because then we're gonna run into issues. So let's just grab it here. Make sure we haven't gone out of the bounds. Yeah, we're fine. Then we're just going to copy one of these, stretch it out. Duplicate the skull. Stretch it out. Copy and stretch. There's a thick little door right here. Different door left, boss. And then this one's just the other one but flipped, so let's do that one. And Teffer door right, boss. Okay. And then the only other one is the... Oh, this is the down door. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Let's just make sure that it is. Yeah, this is actually the down door. So that is actually down. And then we're gonna change it for the up one. So this is the up one. They look really similar, it's hard to tell. Also, people said over Ramiro, I wasn't paying attention. Dylan went on here for a second and then just stopped. I don't know what happened. Okay, then we're gonna stretch those down. Going downtown, boy. And then this is actually Teffer door up bus. And we're gonna replace. Yes, replace, please. Alright, now we can put those new sprites in here instead of the door. I always open the wrong project. So, right in here. Create a new one. Starground region. Tefra. 0. Down. Boss. Can I just duplicate these? Okay, it's just, yeah, Control D. So these should be, what? 16 with no loop. Sprites. Tefra down, boss. 2, 1. Okay. Now we duplicate. Oops, wrong one. Down, down boss. Duplicate down boss. I don't know why it calls it that. Whatever. Up boss. For it, boss. Right there. Okay, we're getting there. Then we need the left one. Boom, boom. Teffer left boss. Boom, boom. And the right one. Where's it? Where's it? Where's it? Tefra. Right, boss. Alright. Then we are gaming. Cool. Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Down, down, boss, left, left, boss, right, right, boss, up, boss. Okay. So now we can actually go ahead and create the boss room for this guy, because it's about time. We have the Tephra rooms down here. Let's just copy the boss room one and call it Tephra boss room one. Alright, here it is. So there's going to be a lot of work here to be done. First off, change out the tile set into the Tephra one. Where's the Tephra tile set? There it is. Boom. It's going to be a mess. That's fine. I'm going to go through and fix this. And I'm probably going to change the shape of this arena a bit, but this is okay for a minute. And just delete the edges for now. Okay, so what is even here? That's 1 by 18. That's 1 by 19, so we gotta delete a pixel up here. Or a tile, whatever. 18, and then these should be fine. Oh, it's 22? Oh. Alright, we're good. Now, delete all the decals. Delete everything. There's some weird random tiles out there. I think that's... okay. Okay, so... this is where we're going to draw on the roof bits. Well, let's design the actual, like, layout of this place. I don't think the boss arena has to be that crazy or interesting. Let's look at Dylan's little drawing, see if there's going to be... I think we can have a big pillar in the center. Because I don't think the boss is actually going to go straight through the center of the map. Or of the room. So let's put that there. Just a nice pillar. Okay, we got ads going again, guys. My apologies. I hate these dang things. So there's gonna be one that goes like an L over here. One over here that just goes down. One over here. So it'd be cool, because it'll be like, you never really know where he's gonna come from. And I imagine his dashes are gonna be really quick, so like, it's gonna be hard to dodge them on purpose. Okay. But I don't think the arena has to be quite this big, probably. I think this is a pretty large arena. I'm going to shave 2 pixels off on each side. I want to make sure he's close enough to where, you know, he can do all his normal stuff. He's not way too far away from the player. Something like that, probably. Make sure that's a square. Yeah, it should just be an 8 by 8. Something kind of like that is probably what I'm looking at. Okay, the left one, we're going to plus 32. Right one, minus 32. Then up and down should also be minus 320. And 320. Okay, let's draw in the roof tiles, or the edge tiles. Boom, boom. Left one goes there. Bottoms. Hello, Gomard. You guys heard that song? Apparently this guy, Big Gumbo, I don't know who that is, sung it. Pretty insane, if you ask me. Alright, let's go there. And then we've got the little corners. So this is going to be mainly for these bits there. And so these corners. Okay. So let's move around this navigation region. Yeah, I don't want this arena to be too huge, because, like, this boss isn't, I don't want it to be way too easy to dodge his, like, dash attacks and stuff, and so if we give the player, like, this just enormous region to move around in, I think it's kind of, what's the point, then? But we can just start with that as sort of, like, a test. Let's also go to one of these other Tefra rooms. And I'm just going to copy the background layer. This really shouldn't be in navigation. Why does this one have those tiles there? Whack. Ads are over. Sorry, everybody. Then let's copy this. Oh. Copy. There we go. Okay. Copy the little section here. I don't know how big it needs to be. Oh, should have been one more tile. No, don't put it down there. I didn't tell you to. There we go. And then I'll copy it the other way for this side. Okay, Godot. You can stop being funny now. Okay. There we go. Big building. Big boss arena building. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do here is use these Path 2D nodes. And this is how I'm going to kind of define like where this guy's dash will be. Right? So we're just going to create a couple paths here. I would like these to be a little more like snap to a grid here. Yeah, we can do this. Right, so there's going to be one here. I'm just going to put these all inside of a node. Or I guess it's fine just to have it be as a child of this. So we're going to have like path 1, right? We're going to duplicate path 2. Path 2 will kind of be inverse, so it's going to be over here. Then this one's actually going to go way down here. Like that. Oh. I didn't realize these are all, Okay, so I just accidentally made the same... Okay, let's create a new path. Path 2. Yeah, I fricked it up, guys. Okay. Path 3. And then this one's gonna go... So this is also like the direction he goes in, right? So it'll go whoop whop, womp womp. And this one can go womp womp, and then womp womp. There's not really any rhyme or reason to how these are kind of set up, but... But maybe having them be a little bit random is good anyways, so it's, you don't really expect... You're never gonna expect them. Oops, not that way. This one's gonna come up this way. So this will be like an easy one to dodge. Now the only issue on some of these is that like there's dead zones, right? So I'm gonna have to make sure that these dash patterns are wide enough. Because if there are dead zones, I mean, I guess it's not a big deal if there's a dead zone. I'm gonna make it so the dash happens really quick, so you've got to like react fast. If you, I mean, I think it's fine. If players learn what the dead zones are and where they are, then good for them. But we can always go back to that if we don't like it. So on these curves, I'm pretty sure there's a function for how we can get the path. A curve 2D. I think this is where we get the points and stuff. Set point position. No. Sample. Well, what we'll just put on these are path follow 2Ds. Because then we can say the progress ratio, right? So that we can get the position in the current path. And by default, those will all be at 0. I can't do it. Okay. 0 progress. So they all start at the beginning. Alright. So it's coming along. We're going to create a new script here. Class name boss room. Interesting. This is just boss room 2. Okay. I don't know why that needs to be its own class. Do I even reference that? No. So it doesn't even need to be its own class, really. I'm just going to copy this. We're going to create a new script, which is Tefra Boss Room 1. I'm naming this Boss Room 1 just in case, oh, I don't know. We make more bosses later, which I would like to eventually. I don't know when I'm going to get around to that, because it is a lot of work making bosses, you know? But we'll see. Okay, ignore that stuff. All right, so we are going to load in Calorus right here. I'm actually going to keep track of the boss. Add it, set its position. Now we have to set a starting point for Calorus, which I think is just going to be right here. So I'm going to set it to wherever that is. Minus 128? Sure. So create the door, add the group, enemies push back boss, change doors, spawned, Calorus. And then this is just checking whenever the boss is killed, right? That, you know, that stuff works. Or like it creates a door in the floor to go to the next dungeon, you know, or the next level of the dungeon. So, okay. So the next thing is, so we spawn in Calorus, and he should show up in this room. So he's going to kind of, we need to make sure he has a reference to this. So I'm going to say, I think boss.room reference. I think that's a thing. Hey, Robbie, thank you for the cheese time. I appreciate it. Yeah, so this guy does have this room reference thing. So that's how we can access the room and get the paths and all that stuff inside the room. So we're going to definitely do that. I guess that's how we can make this guy work outside of his boss room, is that he just doesn't dash unless he has a reference to his room with the paths and stuff. So, yeah. Thank you very much for the cheese time. It's much appreciated. Oh, man. My back is super sore. Oh. Been lifting up washing machines and stuff, so it's really, really cranked it. Set that to like 5 on the scattering. I forgot I need to put these little funny tile variations into this zone. I usually don't spawn decorations in the boss room just because, I don't know. I don't. So I'll probably leave it like that. Okay. So let's start working on this guy's whole dashing thing. Let's go to Calorus. So he's going to spawn in. We're going to create a couple different functions for what he actually does on his attacks and stuff. So we're going to do that. So this is going to be like function dash, you know, and we're just going to have attack underscore dash, and that's when we call this, he starts his dash. So how am I? I'm doing pretty good, other than the soreness and tiredness, but I'm fine. So welcome back, Oshik. Also, by the way, guys, just as a little warning, I'm probably gonna have to end stream a little early today, just because we started so late. So I do apologize for that. But I promise we'll be back to normal this week and next weekend, hopefully. Just because it's been so busy this weekend. With the fiber installation, it was a whole thing. Because we like had to route it through the house to get into the closet and stuff, and then also we had to schedule another day to actually have the line buried. Right now it's just kind of hanging in our bushes in our backyard. So that's obviously not ideal. They need to come back and dig like a tunnel underground and go through, dig through, and a conduit, put a conduit in. Got a girl now? No, I don't. I'm just, well, I guess when I say us, I'm referencing my family because I live with my parents still. But yeah. Hopefully one day I can move out if I can ever afford to live somewhere else. Recent snows revealed the wires in my backyard. Oh, really? That's crazy. Yeah, usually when they do that, they put it inside like a conduit, like a casing. If they just straight up buried the bare wire, that's kind of insane. That's not good. But yeah, anyways, they've got to go back and bury it. So I don't know when that's going to happen. Hopefully we can get it scheduled during the week. If it's on the weekend, then hopefully they get it done before I have to stream, because they have to disconnect the fiber. So pretty much just laid it on the grass. That's crazy. Yeah, that's stupid. Normally, you always want to protect that kind of stuff and put it in a conduit, right? Because otherwise, you know, stick a shovel in the ground, you snap straight through the fiber. It's just bad. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. I don't think we're going to be burying ours super deep. I mean, I don't really know how deep they bury it. But we'll see. It shouldn't really matter. I mean, even if it's not that deep, it's in a conduit, so it's fine. Yeah, they've got to get somebody to come out and do, like, they have to do utility checking, you know, make sure that there's, no, like, sewage lines and stuff in the way, because otherwise, that'd be bad if they broke our water and sewage. So we'll see. And then, yeah, anyways, the other thing that I had going on, too, is another dryer and washing machine repair. I already did one at our house, but I had to go fix it at my where my dad works, so... Oh, it's so tiring. And that washer is like really hard to get into and stuff, and it's just the way it's like assembled sucks because it's since it's a commercial washer, it's kind of like anti-tamper, like on the front of it and stuff. It's got a lot of Torx bits and everywhere, and it's just it's stupid. My washer at home was not that bad to get into. I mean, yeah, it frickin' sucked, but at least I was able to get in there pretty easy. But this one was kind of frustrating. So, but oh well, I got it set up. New gasket, new shock absorbers and wheels and belts, and yeah. That's why I had to delay stream today, guys. Sorry. Okay. So the attack dash. What he's gonna do is just grab a random. I go back up to our room. Thank you for the cheese time, Ace. What's up? Okay, so these paths, I might just put these into. I think I'm just gonna keep some references to these. So. Inside here, I'm going to have our paths as an array. This is going to be export. And this is going to be an array of, let's see, an empty array of type. Or it's got to be a type array of node 2Ds. I think that's what I want to do here. Now I can assign these. So there's going to be 4 of them. Path follow, path follow. So this is also good because if we want to add in more like attack paths, it's super easy. There's basically no additional code. So we'll see. So now what Calorus can do is say, right, room, I'm going to say if room reference. Otherwise, it doesn't do any of the other stuff. So we're going to grab our path is going to be room reference dot paths dot pick random. So that's going to pick a random path inside of the boss room. And the next step is going to be just kind of converting movement over to that. So we're going to say dashing is true. And actually for path, I'm going to reference this up here as like a more static thing. Up there. And then dashing is true. So in here, if dashing is true, what I'm going to say is I'm not even really going to be setting the velocity. Kind of. But I'm really just going to say velocity. How am I going to do this? Because I just got to set his position. Equal to path. Dot. And also let's just say path is a type of follow, path follow 2D. I just wanted to see, okay. path dot get. We have to figure out how we actually do this. Or I guess what we do is just increase the progress ratio and then continually say global position is equal to path dot global position. And then we say path dot progress ratio, right, plus equals 1 times delta or whatever. So that's pretty much it. All right. And that kind of defines his dash stuff. And then all of this stuff should be fine. We don't need to do that, so I'm just gonna run this if our path progress is hit, you know, where it needs to be. So if path dot progress ratio is greater than or equal to 1, then we say dashing is false and navigates is true. And I need him to somehow, like, disappear, right? It's still something I'm going to have to figure out. Maybe what I can do is just kind of have him go out to the edge of the room and then fade out. It's probably going to be the way I'm going to do it. So we should just have, like, a return point for him or something. We'll figure that out. But right now, I'm just going to have him kind of snap over there, and we'll think of the best way to do this. Okay. So I think we're good to go. Let's give him a timer. Activate a timer. Let's just say this timer goes every 10 seconds. Auto start is true. This is going to be his attack timer. Signals, timeout, connect to boss room. Oops. I need to create this in Calorus, not in here. I don't think everyone can draw good enough to get paid. Yeah, that's fair. Not anybody. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, getting paid for drawing is like, you definitely got to go into it like, because nobody's going to pay you to draw unless you can draw better than most people, right? So I mean, I totally agree. And then on this for now, I'm just going to say run attack dash, but we'll run other attacks in here. But yeah, man, getting paid to draw those kind of sucks. I did pixel art freelance for a long time, and it's just, ugh, it's so terrible. I think it's so much better to draw for like draw as a part of a team for something, if that makes sense. So like drawing assets for a game that you're involved with, or drawing like I don't know, drawing in the context of a team instead of for just random individual people. I think that form is just, first off, it's way more reliable and you get paid better, but it's just better. Like when you're freelancing with people, you're dealing with a bunch of people that like don't really know what they want, and also like some people just don't pay you, and it's just there's so much that sucks about it. But working in a team, it's consistent and reliable, and the people are experienced and know what they want, and it's just way better. So programmers get paid way better. Yeah, if they can find a job. I guess it's the same for artists. But yeah. I mean, the thing with art is it's like, you can go to art school and stuff, which definitely does help, but I think it's relatively straightforward to start learning art without having to go to university for it. Programming, I could maybe see more of a valid case for going to university just because it's very technical and there's just a lot of knowledge that you have to learn. But drawing, I think a lot of it just comes down to like the physicality of it. It's like you just have to do it and practice to be able to do it better. Programming, I wouldn't say so much. Programming is all in the head, you know? And obviously art is in the head. You know, it's like, it's the relationship between your hand and your ability to draw, but also like the mental aspect of it, of like funneling your thoughts into your hands. But I think that takes a lot more, practice than programming. Programming can be learned more easily through just understanding knowledge, because like the difference of good code and bad code is it's not really the length of it or anything. It's not like it takes you longer to write it out. It's just you gotta write. It's just, I don't know, it's all about architecture really of code. Oh yeah, the other thing I need to do is I need to go into the loot table and add this to the required rooms now for Tephra. Boss room 1, baby. All right. So we should be good and should always spawn in the boss room now. So let's load it up and check it out. Man, my hands are all shredded up. Working on the washer and dryer, it's just like cuts you a bunch, you know? You'd see they're all like, oh, I got all these marks and divots everywhere. Okay. So let's go check if this boss room spawns in. What? What happened? Weird. I don't know why it just crashed. Did it just... I mean, it says that it's building the dungeon. Maybe something's weird with the boss room, or like something broke it? I don't know why. Let's try it again. That was a little weird. NGL, guys. That was quite odd. Okay. Here we go. Let's try this again. I hope that doesn't happen again. I hope that's not a real bug. Uh-oh. Okay, so why does spawning in this room
Starground
make it...
will knock Minecraft off the hill.
Well, I appreciate it, Bobby. Robbie, sorry, not what happened? It just dies. It tries to do the building step, but then it... Oh, it's because there's no doors assigned. So what's happening is it's trying to create the boss room, but there's no door, and so it's just confused. Okay, my bad. Also, special tag will be boss. Whoopsies. Let's fix that. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever be able to beat Minecraft. Minecraft is the largest game on Earth, after all. But... we'll see, we'll see. No, that'd be insane. No, I'm never really aiming for, you know, crazy success like that, because I just don't need to. If I can just make game development, like, sustainable, then that's really all I'm asking for, you know? I don't even need to make that much money. I'm not trying to be a millionaire. my main goal with financial stuff is just make enough money to be able to live and buy a house, and then I'm set. You know, I don't really need to go too far beyond that. So I really don't have any interest in like buying a yacht or something stupid like that. I mean, sure, it's cool, but it's so excessive. People just don't do that. Normal people. So. Can I set my move speed to negative? I think I've done this before. I think you can. Okay, I just can't move. Would be funny if I could actually make it work as negative. Okay, so we are going to test out this boss. I'm gonna say move speed is back to 1. Yeah, there he is. He spawns in. So he should do his little attacks, hopefully. Let's give him a minute to get started. Oh! Oh! Whoa! 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 Okay, so something's a little weird with his dashing. First off, it's just way too fast. You know, he's going like light speed. So there's a bit of things that we need to fix here. I wonder if I can get the total length of this so that we can adjust for paths that have different lengths. There's one issue with the path stuff right now, or the path follow, is like I don't know how long the path is. What? There's no functions, it's just the variables? Because you think on this like curve 2D I can like get baked length. Get baked length. So that's what I want to do here. See, nothing weird / wrong, yeah. Totally normal. So what does this actually print out? We are getting baked. We are cooked. Oh, I gotta say that dot curve dot get baked length. He just keeps going all over the place. So let's print out what that is. Okay, so it's 768 pixels. I think we'll be good with that then. So with that, that's how we can define like the actual speed and link it into the entity speed. So we can say var length is that. And then the amount that we increment this is now going to be our length, right? Divided by our speed or whatever. It's going to be our speed divided by our length. So we can say speed divided by our length. Now, what do I normally do for speed and stuff here? Like, if we go look at the fear wig, I think it's like I have a certain... It's like speed times 3. This. Okay, so it's just speed times 3. So we're going to say speed divided by length. And we're going to multiply all that by delta. So hopefully that'll be a pretty normal speed. So he should be going his normal speed now on the paths. Which he is, yeah. But obviously he's going to be going faster on the paths. So he's going to be going Calorus. Maybe like speed times 10. I do want him to be going really fast. That's a little too fast, but we can go maybe 6. You know, I want it to be fast enough so that players don't really have much time to react. So I think that's probably how I want it. And then if we stand in here, you know, we can see that we get hit. So one thing is that he's just kind of locked in. Attack dash. And then also, when we start dashing, I'm going to say our attack timer gets paused. Right? And then back when we're done over here, we say paused is false. Just so it's not constantly looping and queuing up a next attack. It's just we have more fine-tuned control over how long in between. So first off, I don't know why he's just always picking the same one or why sometimes randomly it just changes. I think it's because the timer's changing. But obviously he's not like being reset for some reason. Even though I'm saying dashing is false and stuff, it doesn't seem to matter. So I'm gonna print in here. I think what's happening is path progress ratio is going back to like it's never actually technically hitting 1. Because when we add it here, it's just going to I think this loops back. Yeah. So I think what we're actually going to do is say var path progress is 0. We're going to have to restart for this. Every time we start dashing, we set it back to 0. Then this is actually what we're going to be incrementing. So we're going to say path progress plus equals that. Right? So then we're going to say if path progress is greater than 1, we stop. Otherwise, we increment. We say that is equal to path progress. So that should be good. And this should stop all his stuff. We can just say attack or dash stopped right here. Now, we've still got to work out his positioning stuff and like fading out and how he's actually going to exit the boss arena and all that business. So that's going to be kind of a whole thing, but that's the next step on this. That feature of them not being one shot wasted like a week for me. Oh yeah. The little, yeah, timers sometimes are a little funky. You got to keep in mind the auto start and one shot stuff because it definitely changes how things work. I've had a lot of times where I've like set up a timer and I'm like, I don't know what's happening, and it's just because I've either like I had auto start on or whatever. It's weird. Oops. Now I gotta freaking kill these guys. Okay. I didn't actually mean to go in here. Move speed 3. No clip true. Zoom limit false. I have become God. Alright. Let's go over to the boss room. Griffin wants to watch TV. Have a good one. No problem at all. Thank you for the hydrate. And thanks for popping in the stream. Have a good rest of your night. Enjoy your shows. Just let him dash out of the arena, fall into the abyss. Yeah. I think he's going to kind of like... I want it to look like he crawls down the side or something. I really don't know how that's going to work. That's going to be one of the challenges of this dash attack right here. Okay, but his dash did work. He gets stuck outside of the arena, so that's kind of an issue, but... You know, we're working out the kinks with this guy. We'll keep messing with it until it looks right. See, so that was one of his dashes. I kind of want him to do like a phase where also... Let's hydrate. I kind of want him to do like a phase where he does a bunch of dashes in a row. You know, so he'll attack the player for like 20 seconds, and then once he starts his dash, he does it like 5 times or something, right? I think that's probably what we're gonna do. So the way I can do that is just hook up some signals for him. So like signal dash finished. And then down in here, when we actually finish the dash right here, we just say dash finish.emit. And we'll just do that like 5 times or whatever. And up here we'll have our dash count is 0. So whenever we start a dash, we're going to say dash count is back to 0. And then whenever he finishes a dash, we're going to say dash count plus equals 1. And then I guess we're going to have to run this again, attack dash. At the end, I'm just going to say if dash count is less than 5, then just run it up. Attack dash. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that'll be fine. So you should do like 5 dashes in a row. We're gonna have to restart the game again. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave here in just a minute. I do apologize, but it's dinner time. I know it's a short stream. I promise we'll be back to normal next week. Sorry that this weekend has been kind of hectic, but it's just because of all the stuff I've got going on. But let's test this out really quick. So what I'm looking for here is that he should do like 5 dashes in a random order. He could even repeat the same dash, so you gotta be careful. And then after that, he should go back to normal. So let's see what happens here. No club true. I really need to make a command that just says God mode equals true or whatever, you know? Alright, so he's gonna start his dashes. And he should do 5 of them in quick succession. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and there's 5. Oh, he did 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I'm just stupid. It's because when I start the dash, I set dash count back to 0. Okay. Well, we'll fix that. Unfortunately, I gotta end stream, guys, but I appreciate it. We didn't get to test out uploading a Steam build during the stream, just because this guy's completely incomplete, but we'll work on that soon. I'm gonna really try and work hard in getting this guy finished. We've got until the 16th, so I mean, we should have time for all this stuff. I don't think it's gonna take too long to get this guy finalized. We have the room set up and his dash pattern, and all the other attacks are relatively straightforward, so hopefully this will only take me a couple days for this guy. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I was about to say that, yeah. I'll probably add that in. I'm gonna write it down. God mode command. Move speed, no clip, and no zoom limit. Alright. And also, why not give the player infinite regen? Alright. Well, thank you gamers for coming to the stream. I appreciate it. We're gonna go pick somebody to raid. So how about we raid? Who do we want to raid? How about we raid? Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. We can always check and see if there's anybody new, because, you know, why not? There's no clip without arguments a toggle. I don't have it set up, so you have to put in an argument, but it would be cool if you just did /noclip, it toggles between. So I might also do that. Allow noclip to have no arguments as toggle. It would just be kind of cool. So I'm just looking around at who's streaming right now. Yanima. Oh no, they have an ad. Everybody's got ads. I guess everybody probably does ads at the same time. I don't know how it works. Unless these are all just pre-rolls, which frickin' sucks. Come on. Ads, hurry up. I'm not gonna raid someone that's in the middle of an ad. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, they're playing games. It's been a little while since we've... Let's see here. Well, he's not actually playing a game, right? Oh, let's just rate Hypnotic. Okay, well, thank you, gamers, for coming in. I appreciate it. We'll next be live Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, this update will be up on May 16th. So right now we're just in the grind of getting everything ready to go. So hopefully we can get that going. But yeah, thank you, gamers. I appreciate it. Let's go get this raid moving. Jeez, Hypnotic's got 170 sub points. That's crazy, dude. Wish I had 170 subs. Alright. Let's get this raid moving. Thank you, gamers, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Feel free to join the Discord. And yeah, we're gonna go raid Hypnotic. Okay. Bye, gamers. I'll see you on Wednesday. And also be on the lookout for a real announcement about an experimental build. Technically, there is one up if you want to check it out, but it's kind of incomplete. I only did it for the Steam Deck review, so. Alright. Bye, gamers. I'll see you around. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, I have to start the raid and do the thing. Oh, boy, I oughta. Almost. Okay. Bye, gamers. Bye-bye. Bye.